Hello out there in television land. Welcome to yet another edition of It's Your Health. Philip Benyo with my bride, Kathleen. Very good. You've learned. We're celebrating, of course, the 4th of July. This is our 4th of July show. So make sure you talk to your friends. This is a show you're not going to want to miss. We're going to end up doing our headlines with the 4 freedoms, right, sweetheart?
Yes, and the 4 freedoms were created by Norman Rockwell in 1941. He did them in reaction to the speech by Franklin Roosevelt, who talked about what the 4 freedoms are. And they are the freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. And they should be universal. And we're going to honor them on this session today for It's Your Health. We'll be right back after this brief commercial message. Make sure you check with your healthcare provider before doing any of the things that we talk about here on It's Your Health. We'll be right back. And welcome to the first part of It's Your Health. And I love this cartoon about bowling, even though I can't. And they're talking, and she says his mind is always in the gutter. Oh, spare me. That was a good one. Well, we have freedom of speech thanks to Samsung Productions, and it's our first freedom. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that. It's a narrative of America. It illustrates a scene where a young worker stands up to speak at a town meeting. The scene is emblematic of the right to freedom of expression, irrespective of social status. Very good. And that's one of our first, that was the first 4 freedom, I think, done by Norman Rockwell. Yes. Such detail that he did, it was just unbelievable. And then all 4 were put on the Washington Post cover, 1 week at a time. Right. Okay, moving right along. We're going to move right along, and since that was our headline, I'll give you some information. Swapping butter for plant-based oils may reduce heart disease and diabetes risk. Well, butter, of course, was always felt to be better than margarine. And there are some plant-based oils which are perhaps better than butter. Do you have any suggestions? Even though you're not in the kitchen, do you have any thoughts about this? Yes, I do. And I can remember back in the 70s where everybody said margarine was the thing to use. Right, exactly. And that changed a lot. But we recommend olive oil, avocado oil, which is getting harder to get, peanut oil, which is often used in Japanese cooking, and grapeseed oil. You often see things that are from palm oil and coconut oil, but they are not great ones to use. You know, when I was growing up, my mother would fry bacon, and we would actually save the bacon grease and use that as a cooking oil, believe it or not. You're still alive. Pinch me. All right. Don't tempt me. All right. This one shocked me. Scientists find heavy metals such as lead and arsenic in tampons. Most tampons are made from cotton and/or rayon, both of which are made from plants that may be exposed to heavy metal contamination in the soil. Metals in tampons from 14 different brands that are sold in the United States were tested. That, you know, when I watch forensic files and persons have these crazy symptoms, nobody can figure it out and they die, it's often heavy metal poisoning. And no joke, because these things potentially can be absorbed. What are heavy metals? Arsenic, mercury, lead, cadmium, and chromium. So more to be said about something like this. Very concerning. And they can lead to dementia,
infertility, diabetes, cancer, and can affect just about every organ in the body.
Yeah, heavy metals are not good.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Well, I guess it's good I went through menopause.
Me too.
Okay, here's a famous one. Ozempic may lower the risks of 10 cancers. Researchers are interested in discovering strategies to decrease the risk of cancer.
Well, how does that happen? It's not necessarily directly due to the drug. It's actually due to the tremendous weight loss that medicines like Ozempic can provide a patient. And it turns out that obesity is one of the bigger risk factors for many of our cancers. So by losing weight, you are thereby lowering your cancer risk.
Yep, that's true. Altered levels of sex hormones and insulin-like growth factors, and it will promote tumors not to develop and progress. Yeah. So that's really interesting stuff.
So speaking of kitchens, tonight I'm going to be making something
Talking about kitchens?
from our Mediterranean diet, because I'm pretty much into that, and I think you can appreciate it. And maybe you could tell us out there in television land, what constitutes a Mediterranean diet?
Do we need a kitchen?
Jesus. Oh my God.
Okay, a Mediterranean diet is an eating pattern that includes the food staples of people who live in the countries around the Mediterranean Sea, such as Spain, Greece, Italy, and France. Of course, you know, plant-based vegetables, healthy fats such as olive oil, and fish. They are all heart healthy.
Maybe you could tell for us, our listening audience, some of the benefits of a Mediterranean diet.
It decreases the risk of heart disease by lowering your cholesterol and reducing mortality from cardiovascular conditions. It will lower certain cancers such as breast cancer, colon cancer, and some head and neck cancers. Believe it or not, it will reduce your symptoms of depression, put you in a sunnier mood, and make you feel more satisfaction.
That's why I feed you the Mediterranean diet. That's why you're getting it. But go right on. Don't let me. I interject.
Oh, sorry. It helped people, I'm ignoring him, with type 2 diabetes control their blood sugar levels, blood pressure, and body mass. Fewer osteoarthritis complications. I'm done.
Well done. And as you recall, there are 4 freedoms, and we have 3 segments. So we're going to end this segment with the second freedom of Norman Rockwell. There it is. And maybe you could comment, sweetheart.
Everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom either alone or in community with others, and in public or private, to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance.
Well, I've observed you have stars around your neck, sweetheart. I don't have to see stars around your neck. I see them in your eyes. Do you believe that?
No, not a chance.
Can't get that one.
Forget that one. Cross that off your list.
We'll be done shortly here with our first segment, and we're going to be breaking for a commercial. And please call our sponsors. Tell them you saw it or heard it on It's Your Health, and better yet, use their services. We'll be right back after this brief commercial message. You're watching It's Your Health.
Dogs. I love cartoons about dogs. Here's 2 dogs are saying, "We're married for a year," and the other one says, "Yeah, but it's 7."
So how long have we been married?
More than 7.
Listen, sweetheart, either way you slice it, it's a life sentence, okay? That's all there is to it, all right? But talk to us about our third freedom from Norman Rockwell, which is the freedom of want.
How about if I want you not to make any more comments?
Okay, I'll zip it. Go ahead.
Okay. No longer bound by the burden of want, of making ends meet, of meeting basic needs, we have the freedom to enjoy our lives, find fulfillment, better our communities, and increase our collective understanding of one another and the world.
And it's typically seen with Thanksgiving, I think, that picture of freedom of want. It illustrates everybody home for Thanksgiving.
And Christmas.
True, for Christmas as well. So, moving right along.
Okay. Passion, exercise, and meaningful relationships are a boon to brain health. Those three things together help prevent cognitive decline. And I'm going to start with the one that's passion.
Yeah, start with passion.
I knew that's where you would
Start with
automatically. Passion means there is something that you value, or that's important to you, or motivates you. It doesn't necessarily mean
all right.
what you're thinking
I'm
of.
going to tune out then.
But that's good for you because it keeps you busy and it keeps you active. And passion for an area or skill leads to physical activity, social relationships, and better well-being.
And these are crucial to maintain cognitive health. I think it's one of the best medicines you can get out there is social interaction and making sure you're busy. And because if you don't use it, you lose it.
Well, they suggest an hour of aerobic training 3 times a week for 6 months will make a big difference in your cognitive thinking and to attention and attention control, and you will keep your relationships with friends and family.
And soulmates, right?
And soulmates.
Okay, very good.
People who give me a hard time.
Not me.
Here's another good one. This is at a good time, too. Did the COVID-19 pandemic lead to changes in our personality traits? A recent study found changes in the expression of personality traits after going through COVID. It affects their conscientiousness, disagreeableness, and neuroticism.
Not moi, I trust.
You are so.
Now stop it, sweetheart. Now don't be ridiculous. I have not changed at all since COVID-19.
There you go.
But just, it is a fact that just try driving these days. There's so much aggression and I can't put my finger on it. The world has changed and perhaps this is one of these COVID long hauler issues. Whether you've gotten the disease or not, it certainly has changed people's attitudes.
But not yours.
Not mine, no. I'm your usual teddy bear, sweetheart.
Okay, we're going to talk about not your usual teddy bear, but the worst fruits for someone with diabetes. We all think if we have fruit, that's good, so it doesn't matter what kind of fruit it is. But first of all, let's talk about the fruit that's high in sugar.
It's hard to believe. Get a load of this list. You'll see it there. Watermelons, which of course we love, and overly ripe bananas. I'm not sure what the overly ripe banana has to do about it, but bananas in and of itself.
You probably grow sugar in that overly ripeness.
Oh yeah, and so pineapples, red grapes, which of course I love. Fuji apples for some reason.
Just Fuji's.
I'm not sure why. And mangoes. So
love those.
Those are things that should be avoided if you're a diabetic. And of course, you're not going to get away with sugar in fruits if it's canned. You have to read the label and see that it's in syrup and God knows what else. So that can get you into trouble. Fruit juices, of course, have a lot of hidden carbohydrates. And surprisingly, there are some dried fruits that are high in sugar. Maybe you can elaborate.
Well, you see the bags that they sell you of fruits and nuts, and they're called trail mixes, and they're nice. They're very good. I like them. But you've got to read the label, because if you don't read the label, you will find out that the dried fruits may be high in sugar.
Such as apricots, pineapple, raisins, and dates.
Raisins. Everybody eats raisins.
For sure. Now, let's talk about the fruits that you can have, or at least are more diabetic friendly. Here's another list that you can go through up on our screens. It's apples, not the Fuji ones, of course, avocados, blackberries, cantaloupes, oranges, plums, raspberries, and strawberries. They're the ones that are kind of more user friendly. So again, we want to use fruits and vegetables for our diabetics, and watch for some of those fruits out there in television land.
Oh, there's so much to watch for and so much to be careful for.
Well, you know, I kind of have a philosophy that we're here for a visit and make the best of it, and everything in moderation. So that's kind of where I'm at in life.
Well, we have another freedom coming up, but shall we save that for the next segment?
Yeah, we'll be right back after this brief commercial message. You're watching It's Your Health, and again, please tell our sponsors that we appreciate their time and effort in sponsoring our show. On Samsung Productions, It's Your Health. We'll be right back.
Go ahead, say it.
Welcome back to the third segment of It's Your Health.
I thought you were going to say something about the cartoon and me.
Yeah, I go for the 5-minute flowers, quite honestly. That seems to work out a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm real good at killing plants. My sister's an expert, and I just take them home and they just die. So that one's really about me.
You have to water them, sweetheart, okay?
I do water them.
You know what's interesting? We brought a Christmas tree at one of the local grocery stores 2 years ago. It was one in a pot.
3 years ago. Not that I'm correcting him.
And it was yay high in a pot. And it was kind of like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
He wanted me to have something Christmassy, which was really nice of him.
And the bottom line is?
It's still alive.
That is unbelievable.
It doesn't have any roots. It doesn't have anything to make it grow. I give it water, nothing else. And this Christmas tree, which is not growing, but is about this high, and we decorate it every season.
Yeah.
And it's still going strong.
It hasn't lost many needles. I think I've lost more needles than that. So.
I hope not.
Are we going to talk about our fourth freedom, sweetheart?
Yes, we are. And boy, is this an important one. The fourth is freedom from fear, which translated into world terms means a worldwide reduction of armaments to such a point and in such a thorough fashion that no nation will be in a position to commit an act of physical aggression against any neighbor anywhere in the world. Boy, that's something that should be repeated and repeated, I think.
And that picture is so telling. Here you have parents tucking in their children, keeping them safe.
Yeah, but he's holding that
headline,
newspaper.
a headline of bombings and horror, and so it's really telling. Freedom from fear.
Yeah, we can hope. So, back to medicine. What is gout? It's an inflammatory form of arthritis. It usually starts in your big toe, which is kind of strange, and moves to surrounding joints in the foot, ankle, and knee, and you can get a sudden onset at bedtime, which is also really strange.
Yeah, it is kind of strange. Purine is the byproduct of protein metabolism. So when you eat a steak, it gets broken down into purines, notably one called uric acid, which is cleared by the kidney. And you can overwhelm the kidney, and it may not get rid of the uric acid. So the uric acid will deposit in all places the great toe, the big toe, generally at night. Now, the old medieval books in medicine show people who had the gout, which was called the rich man's disease, because they were drinking wine and eating beef and whatever. And they have a devil with a pitchfork sticking it in the great toe. That's how painful this is.
It's supposed to be very painful.
It's very painful. And there are risk factors for gout. If you want to go over them, we'll go over them right now.
Would you please?
Right. First of all, if you're a guy and if you're overweight, alcohol will tend to precipitate gouty attacks as well, hence the rich man's disease. If you have a family history of gout, that puts you at higher risk. High blood pressure, thyroid disease, chronic kidney disease, obstructive sleep apnea, type 2 diabetes, and heart conditions in which there's a rapid turnover of cells. For example, if you're getting chemotherapy or something like that. So that's gout for you.
Ready for the next headline?
I have my seatbelt on, yes.
You're going to love this one.
All righty.
These are 20, I'm not going to talk about 20. They're great tips, sex tips for men.
I'm all ears.
Oh, well, you should be. First of all, eat healthy.
That's a given.
You don't want to be overweight. That's not good for you. And it will reduce your cholesterol and keep your cardiovascular system humming. Okay. I like the next one a lot. Do household chores. Your significant other will really like to see you helping around the house, doing the dishes, vacuuming. All that kind of stuff will bring happiness to her heart.
You should be extremely happy then.
Oh, listen to that. Exercise. That goes without saying, but don't overdo it. Too much exercise isn't good either. Maybe even work out with your spouse. Abstain a bit.
What?
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Oh.
So maybe not quite as often as usual. And plan for sex. Say to each other, I'll meet you in the bedroom, maybe on the kitchen table, wherever, at 7 o'clock.
All right. That's tonight, right? Okay.
So you make your plans and you follow them through.
All righty. Sign me up.
Compliment her. Compliment her body. Make her feel good about her body. And finally, relax and focus on foreplay. Don't just get right into it. Have a little bit of fun getting there.
I kind of like that. It's like a meal. They have an appetizer and, okay.
There you go.
As I teased you in the beginning of the show, we have a special guest to close out our celebration of our country and the 4th of July. So if you're within the sound of my voice, stand up, turn up the volume on your television set, stand up, sing loud, and sing proud.
God bless America.